Welcome to the Cross the Line podcast. My name is Carlos Smith here at the final night at Ice House Comedy Club of the festival here in Pasadena, California. Back with another comedian once again. She had to get her pose down right earlier tonight, but she is here with us. Miss Belynda Cleare, how are you?
I am fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us. So for you, how are you feeling, leading up to your set tonight?
Well, this is my first time performing at the Ice House in Pasadena, so
Okay.
I'm super excited. I'm thrilled for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So do you typically perform at other comedy clubs around here?
Well, I don't live on the West Coast. I live on the East Coast, so
Okay.
I mainly work on the East Coast.
So we're from South Carolina. Of course, we're on the East Coast. So can you tell us where you're originally from?
Originally, I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So was comedy a big thing up there?
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes to laugh. I mean, there weren't a lot of formal comedy clubs, but yeah, everybody has a great sense of humor. You can't be a Canadian without having a great sense of humor.
So when did you finally, come this way?
Oh,
move
well, I
this
live
way?
outside of Philly now. So, yeah,
Okay.
I moved to Philly in 1989. So,
Okay.
yeah, but I go back and forth.
Was that a tough transition from going from Canada to Philly?
Yes, because I grew up in a small little rural fishing village where we were the only black family. And then I moved to the city of brotherly love where there's lots of brothers to love.
Absolutely. So for you, when did you get exposed to comedy? Do you remember that first person or what it was that got you exposed to comedy?
Well, I was in university at the time, and my roommates encouraged me to go to an open mic at a local comedy club called Yuck Yucks in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I just did it on a dare. And the manager loved me and said, yeah, I can make you a star in 2 years. Just come back every week. And so that's how I got started.
Would you say you were, even growing up though, would you somewhat like a quote unquote class clown, or was it?
Yes, definitely the class clown. Like, I was into all forms of performing arts, dancing, acting. Like, I've been in theater since I was 5 years old. If there was a stage, I wanted to be on it.
So
But so I've always been an entrepreneur, because in a small town like I grew up in, there's not a lot of opportunities. So if you don't create opportunities, you're gonna be broke.
So I look like I said, of course. I look at comedians as entrepreneurs because you create your own opportunities.
It's definitely a business.
Yes, ma'am. And you going from show to show, and like you said, you're building your brand and building your name. So I look at what you're doing, like I said, as an entrepreneur. Doing that since a young age of 8. Did you already know from that point in time that no matter what, that you always wanted to work for yourself and control your own future?
Yeah, I did try. I worked for maybe 15 years for other companies, but I realized that, yeah, I need to be an independent contractor. I need to work for myself.
Absolutely. I think I look at that as well. It's like I tell people, it's nothing wrong with having a job and working a 9 to 5 because it pays the bills.
Right.
But at the same time, for a lot of people, they do it just for that purpose. But even though they don't love it, they
Right.
just stay there and out of fear. They don't go after what they truly desire.
But not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur.
That's
Because,
true.
like, when you own your own business, you know that you work way harder than you would on a 9 to 5.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. The companies that you work for, they reap all the benefits, and it's just like whenever they want to move on from you and replace you, they can
Right.
do that at any time. So it's just like, of course, it's a business, but at the same time, I just love being able to do what I love to do. Also, being able to give somebody else an opportunity
Yes.
to build our own brand. So for you to dive into comedy, what was that conversation like with? Did you have a conversation with family and friends about
Not at first. Oh, not at first. Initially, I didn't. Want my family to know, because I grew up with the mentality, you get a good job with a good company, so you get benefits and you work there till you die. And
that's what we heard as well.
yes, and so, but now companies aren't loyal. So the only way you can take care of yourself till you die is to work for yourself.
Absolutely, because it's for us that was the American dream.
Right.
And, just what society painted the pictures: high school, college, and then you get a job and stay there 30, 40
Yeah.
plus years. And they would just tell us all the time. I just walked away from my job about 3 months ago.
Good for you.
And I was there for 10 years since I was in college, and it was just something tugging at me. It just got to the point where I just felt so uneased at work that the slightest little thing people would say to me, it would just set me off, and it was just something in my head that just said, like, what are you doing? Why are you still here? Like, go out there and chase your dreams and be greater. So it was never going to be a perfect time. I just
Right.
had
You have to step out on faith.
Absolutely. Faith
Yeah.
is just so important to my journey. It's speaking of faith, how important has faith been on your journey, as being an entrepreneur and being a comedian?
Well, for me, like my faith is what gets me through every day. Because sometimes I don't know what the outcome of my plans are going to be, and I just kind of let the Spirit guide me. And you got to have faith in yourself. You got to have faith that you are capable of doing what you know you were born to do.
Absolutely. As a comedian, people look to you for joy and laughter, but of course you're still human. Do you still have like those moments where you may still have moments of doubt where you question things, even though it may be just for a brief moment, but you pick yourself back up? Do you still have those moments where
that's only human. Like you hear, like comedians can be some of the saddest people in the business if you don't take care of your mental health. Like you've heard the term "Tears of a Clown," that song by Smokey Robinson, and that's true. Like the people that are doing the most smiling are the ones sometimes that are in the most pain. And so, I definitely have down days, but I know that I can get through them. Got to stay focused.
Do you think some comedians, they just made me think of something else, an interesting point, what you said with Tears of a Clown. Do you think some comedians, maybe they get into this profession because it helps them get through some of that pain that they're going through?
Yeah, comedy's a great healer. Yeah, for the comedian and the audience. Yeah.
Do you ever have things where when you talk about your pain and when you go on stage and you laugh about it, it's still kind of like feel like you're opening up a wound, even though when you talk about personal things?
No, I spent 30 years as a mental health therapist, and so what I advise all young comedians, like, don't talk about it until you heal. Yeah, because like you can't. Otherwise, it's like pulling the scab off something that's not already healed. So I don't like. For example, my husband died 8 years ago, and I wasn't able to talk about it for 7 years. But now I can bring that information to the stage without breaking down because I've worked through the grief. Like you're always grief is an ongoing process, but I've healed enough that I can talk about it.
Was comedy for you still enjoyable at that time? When
I needed comedy. Like comedy's always been comedy has been like as a child. Like I grew up in a traumatic environment, and comedy was the only thing some days that brought me joy. So even when I go through hard times, like I can drive to a show crying my eyes out.
Really? Right now?
Yeah. Get on stage, turn it on, and I walk out feeling 2,000% better. Yeah, because it feeds your soul to have the ability to make other people laugh.
Right.
When you share some of your own painful experiences, there's always someone in the audience that was going through the same thing, and they have that relatable connection.
Absolutely. Do you still get nerves, and like how do you handle that, like when you're on the stage, like you will be tonight, when you see it's not like a team sport or not anything else like that, it's just like you're an individual on the stage and all eyes are on you. Is that still kind of nerves for you, or since you've been doing it for a long time?
I get nervous. Like this is my first time at the Ice House, so I'll be a little nervous, but I channel that into my energy and just go into a zone.
How important for you is it to, like you said, this is going to be your first time here, to be a great impression, have the audience gravitate towards you as soon as you step out there.
That's the goal every time you hit the stage, no matter where it's at, whether it's, a big venue like the Ice House or a little tiny venue with 25 people in it.
As we move into wrap up this year and move into 2024, what are some of your goals, moving into the next year and beyond?
Well, I've been working on a TV pilot.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a one-woman show called "Staying on the Right Side of Sanity: The Diary of a Dirt Road Diva," and I just recorded my first album last year. So I'm looking forward to that being released. But also, ideally, within the next year, I would like to have my TV pilot picked up by a network.
Absolutely, that'll be a beautiful thing, and we're definitely gonna support you even when we're out. So do you live out here in LA now?
No,
or?
I'm just out here for the comedy festival. So I live outside of Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my home base.
How important is it to be around people that are in that same field?
It's very important to be around like-minded people that are, especially creative people. Like I hang out with comedian friends, and just in conversation, we'll come up with great premises for jokes because it's all based on reality. But if you're around people that tear you down, you'll be low. But if you are around people that are uplifting and lift you up, then yeah. So I only surround myself with positive thinking and respectful people.
Absolutely. What's your favorite part of being a comedian?
My favorite part is when somebody comes up to me after a show and say that this is the first time they laughed in 2 years, or
That's powerful.
That they related to me because I said something that was relatable to their life experiences. Because I'm a no bars hold comedian. Like, yeah. If I've lived it, I will share it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I love comedians to just speak their mind and just let people have it. I know they're getting ready to let out. What advice would you have for someone that is pursuing their dreams? Maybe it's not in comedy, but just want to overall just pursue their dreams.
First thing is you got to believe in yourself. Never give up. Like, even things are going to get tough. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Absolutely.
So if you know you have what it takes to do what you want to do, surround yourself with people that are going to network with you and motivate you. Like, you're around people that aren't going to motivate you, you're not going to be motivated.
Absolutely.
And if you're around people that are self-destructive, you got to get rid of them. Like, I've had to let friends go because they weren't going anywhere. And I've heard this quote years ago: if you want to see your future, show me your 5 closest friends.
Your friends, yep. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Absolutely. My last and final question that I ask everyone at the end: what does self-investment mean to you?
Self-investment means investing in your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and investing in your career. Like, when I'm not on stage, I'm doing something towards my goals, like writing material, refining material. I'm always working. Like, you always got to be focused on, like, for self-investment, you got to be working on your goals.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not working on them, it's not a goal, it's a dream.
Absolutely. You always put it into action. It's one thing to, think about something or talk about it, but once you put it into motion, then you see it attracting everything. You start attracting those things.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Belynda, I want to thank you for your time. Good luck tonight. Before we get out here, can you please tell everyone how to find you?
It is Belynda J. Cleare on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Absolutely. So thank you guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed this. We are here at the Ice House Comedy Club in Pasadena, California. So until next time, keep chasing your dreams. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.